What is going on, everybody? And in this video I will be covering the best vehicle you guys want to use in the Aerobatics class. And like I said, I will be going through all the classes in the game for the best vehicle you guys want to be using, and or like the most go-to vehicle you guys can use in summits and stuff like that when it's no restrictions. So getting right into it, I obviously am hovering over the PC-21 here, but before we get into that, guys, let me take a look at the other planes here and tell you guys why I don't use them. Now, the Zivco Edge 540 V3 Aerobatics plane, honestly, I don't use this plane too much at all, honestly. The only reason I actually use this plane is if I have to on a summit. Besides that, if it's no restriction, I always use a PC-21. But if it comes to the air race, the 540 is actually one of my go-to planes. Moving on to the Slick, I see some people use this plane a good amount on YouTube, but I also don't think it's the best plane in the class. I really think it depends on your settings, which I'll get into with my plane in a little while. I think this might be one of the #1 used aerobatics planes in the game here, the Harmon Rocket HR3 here. I know this plane actually in the air race class was one of the best planes you could use for a while, until it was nerfed a bit there because it was kind of dominating everything else, and after they nerfed it with the handling and all that, people started using other planes. But when it comes to aerobatics, I notice a lot of people still run this plane, so this plane is really good still. This is probably the closest plane I would use to the PC-21 if I had to switch planes there. And then obviously I don't use the Waco because this plane's just, I don't think this plane's that good for aerobatics. I don't use the GB, I don't think this one's that great either, and then the rest of them I also do not use, even though they look cool. I do not use them, I just don't think they do the greatest job. The only reason why I would use them is if you absolutely have to on a summit, like if it's a specific plane. So guys, jumping right into the performance and what I'm using on this plane. So obviously I am running a Nitrochemist set with Extreme Mode and Magnificent. Now there's reasons why I'm running this. I know a lot of people might wonder why I'm not using a Scorebreaker set now. The craziest part is the Scorebreaker set actually doesn't make a difference on the aerobatic planes. It's kind of weird, but it's actually very true. I never realized it until I started testing it more, but the Chemist is so much better to be using on these planes because you really do need the nitrous to help yourself do tricks and all that, which I will do one of those missions later in this video. But anyway, getting right into why I use this. So I'm obviously using Extreme Mode, which increase the Extreme Mode efficiency by 8% for aerobatics and air race planes. Obviously, this helps pretty dang well. And then obviously Magnificent increased scoring by 10% in aerobatics events. That is something you obviously want because you're going to want to score as much as you possibly can in the said mission that you're doing. And while having a big increase of 80% there will help a lot. Plus, you can also do the pilot stuff there and have the icon points there if you're high enough level, which would also help a lot. And I know a lot of people are wondering, like I said, about the Scorebreaker. I test this in a lot of different missions, and I have noticed that it actually doesn't really make a difference when it comes to this. Kind of weird, but it is definitely kind of interesting because the Chemist is actually better. I have also noticed this a little bit with the Monster Truck class as well. But it's kind of interesting how the Chemist set is better than the Scorebreaker, probably because Scorebreaker is really only for skills, but it seems like it helps with some missions. Kind of interesting. But here are the settings I'm running on the PC-21. I will also show this in the video. Reason why I have it like this, guys, I will show you in the mission itself on how you can spin and all that and actually get higher scores, because we know the aerobatics races are kind of annoying, honestly, and I feel like a lot of people will probably hate them because this is one of those classes I feel like most don't use unless you absolutely have to. I'm one of them anyway. Let's go jump into one of the events right now, and I'll talk about this more. So guys, jumping right into the event here with the PC-21. Now, honestly, why did I pick this plane over, like, let's say the Harmon Rocket 3? Well, for me, #1 is, well, it handles really great, and I like how this plane flies, honestly. Some of the planes are kind of weird. They, like, glitch back and forth. They're way too twitchy, and I feel like it's hard to fly them. I know it depends on your settings there with them, but I feel like some planes are kind of weird, and I just don't really like using them. I did test the Harmon Rocket a lot. Wasn't really feeling it too much, and I actually used it on this set event right now that I'm doing with this plane, because this was actually in the summit a while back, and I figured I would jump in this right now again and do it with the PC-21 to see you can get over 7K on this pretty easily. This plane, like I said, it does great, guys. It is really good. If you're wondering what score you guys really want to go for in summits with this, I think that's around the I want to say actually 5,000 to 7,000 points. In the actual event, I feel like that will get you over 120,000 points there, which will get you the best chance of being high placed and all that, which could definitely be very helpful. Obviously, guys, knowing what's next in these can help a lot too. That's one reason why I also like using this plane, because I feel like I'm like the most comfortable with it when doing races and like missions and like anything with it. Funnily enough, a lot of the planes do perform very similar in this. I feel like a lot of the vehicles might be very similar. I guess it really depends on what you like using overall. So what makes this plane better? #1 for me over everything, and I'd have to say that's just how it feels and how it flies, honestly. I mean, it's just very, very, like, it's very stable. It doesn't like twitch around sometimes like some planes do, which can be very annoying. I used some of the other aerobatic planes, which kind of annoyed me a little bit when I was using them. I was like, all right, this thing's kind of weird. I just wasn't feeling it, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna jump in a different plane here and try these out. And surely enough, the PC-21 blew my mind a little bit, because actually, one of the YouTubers I've been following for a long time that does crew 2 videos, his name's Acor, and he is an incredible driver on here. And I saw him using this plane one time, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that thing out. Tried out the PC-21, and surely enough, it was like one of my favorite planes I pretty much use to this day in this game, and I feel like it's something I recommend everybody to try to do, is try to find a vehicle you guys really, really like in this game that you feel comfortable with. I believe that's very important and will definitely help you guys a lot when doing like events and stuff like that. I know leveling these planes up can be very annoying. I felt your pain on that, honestly, because leveling these up cannot be that fun sometimes with how some of these races are. Like, for example, like the mission I'm doing right now, fly back and forth, you know, go into the bridge here and hope you can get a perfect score on this. Like, when it comes to the summits, obviously, like I said, 7K is what you guys are actually going to want to aim for on these. I have 6,000 right now, which is actually pretty good, but completing this last event here will help a lot, which I'm going to try to do with the last few seconds to spare here. So fly through this bridge here should get me that one. And then I'm going to try to do the inward loop right now here. Should do it just in time. As you guys will see there, I managed to complete that just in time, which got me to 7,121 points. Which, for example, if you did do that in the summit, you're probably going to look for like 120k or so, 121. I think when I got that last summit was actually in this event, I got like 126. And that could definitely set you ahead of a lot of the competition, guys. So I recommend going after the PC-21 using this thing. Most people should have this plane because it is like already unlocked for everybody, I believe, when you first start the aerobatic class. And honestly, it's pretty amazing. Now I will show you the settings I run on this plane. Here are my settings for the Pilatus PC-21. Now, a couple things I wanted to mention, guys, as well. As I said when I was doing the event with this plane, I am using the Nitrochemist set here, which honestly I feel like is your best bet. So if you're going after a set and not sure if you should get Scorebreaker or Nitrochemist, for the Aerobatics class, I highly recommend going after the Chemist set. Make sure you can get Magnificent on there because that will definitely help your scoring. And this is what I actually used, and I did overscore compared to the Scorebreaker, so I highly recommend that. Here is the actual settings I'm running on this plane if you guys want to give this thing a shot there. It's definitely worth it, guys. I highly recommend it. This plane is amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching.